Guys, Mr. Derry here. I'm in SolidWorks. We got a bit of bad news in that the stock that we purchased is not 1 inch thick. So that means we got to go back and change the whole Burr puzzle. But I'm hoping we can do this really quickly. If you follow along with me, I'm going to go through and I've got somebody's Burr puzzle here in my folder. I'm going to go in. We're going to take on each one of these parts, A through D. The tool path should stay the same. The reference geometry, all of that should stay the same. We're just going to go through and make some edits to the notches and the overall size of the part. So let me show you the fast way to do that. In SolidWorks, if you click on the face, the dimensions that created that sketch will pop up. So we're just going to jump right in there and type in 0.9 and 0.9 for both of these. All right, hit OK. Make sure you hit save, and going to close up that part. Go to the next one, file, open. Now these are going to get a little trickier as we move along because we got to modify the notches as well. So I'm going to click on this again. The overall size of the material is going to have to be 0.9 because we couldn't get the stock, or we already purchased the stock and it's the wrong size. If you're in the CNC tab, you're going to click on your features tab here. Alright, so that part is done. I'm just going to hit a save. But I need to modify this cut, and this cut's a little bit different because now we've got to think about what we're doing. If you if you go under your cut, get to the sketch, right click and go normal to, we're going to take a look at this guy and make these changes. Now, if if the overall material is going to be 1/10 of an inch smaller, that means that this needs to become 1/10 of an inch bigger. If I click on it, I can simply hit the plus button and say 0.1, and SolidWorks will do the math for me. All right. Now this one is actually going to become smaller by 2/10 because there's two pieces next to this. So we're going to say minus 0.2. So that takes care of that. Now these notches here are going to need to change as well. And those are going to have to change by 1/2, right? So we're going to go here and say minus 0.05 and minus 0.05. All right. Hope I'm doing this right. If I am doing this right, it's all going to work out perfectly in the assembly. So I'm going to exit the sketch. That's going to take care of that. But notice our cuts are still too deep now. So we're going to right click and edit the depth of the cut. And in this case, again, we're going to say minus 0.05. So our depths are not as deep. And I think that's going to take care of that. I'm going to hit save. We will find out shortly whether all of this works out. Oh, I forgot to do one thing on that last part. We need to jump to the toolpaths, and we need to generate toolpath, and we're going to need to re-export these toolpaths because they've been modified. But we probably should do that at the end. So let's go to the next part because I want to make sure it works in the assembly. Open, part C. Once again, we'll start with the easy stuff. This is going to be 0.9. This is going to be 0.9. All right. File, save. Make sure I'm on my features tab over here. Let's deal with that cut. I'm going to right click, edit that sketch, and in this case, again, I'm going to add plus 0.1 to this side, minus, because this represents two of them, minus 0.2 on this one, and exit the sketch. And now we just come in here and edit the depth of that cut, again minusing 0.05. And all of this hopefully will work out. You know what, while I'm here I might as well just update that toolpath, but we're going to export them later. That's going to fix that toolpath for our new material. The good news is our coordinate systems are all staying, so we've got one more part to open, I think, part D. So I'm going to open this guy up, and this one needs the most work, I guess. So my features tab is over here. Start by clicking on this. Oops, click on this. Take care of, you won't get that error message that I'm getting because this is an old file. Those are 0.9. Alright, I want to hit save on that. We'll take this first cut on, edit this sketch, and look normal to it. Once again, we are adding plus 0.1 to this guy, and then here, because this is full width, we're going to say minus 0.1. And now that is representing our new stock with 10 thousandths clearance, and this should be centered. Okay. Now we need to remember to edit the depth of the cut as well. So in that case, we're going to right click and edit the feature, not the sketch. Check the depth. Depth of the cut is going to be minus 0.05 to what we already have. Alright. And this last one, again, we're going to go in and edit the sketch first. Look normal too, so you can see what you're doing. This guy gets a plus 0.1. Because this is double wide, this gets a minus 0.2. It doesn't look centered there. Something doesn't look right. Gonna have to go back and check that. First one, exit sketch. In this case, I got to edit the depth of the cut again. Minus 0.05. I think I messed up on centering this one. This distance looks shorter than this one, so let's see what I did wrong there. Going to edit that sketch. I'm going to put another dimension in here just to see what's going on. These two should be equal, and they're not. So I think this should have been a half the distance because it's only one. So I'm going to say minus 0.05 and see if these equal out. There we go. Alright, so that that's what that dimension should have been. Let me just double check the depths of those. So 455 rather, that's good. Same thing, that's good. I'm going to hit save. Now if all goes well, if I go to open and I pull up this assembly, it should be all put together properly. Look at that. Cool. It worked. I'm going to take a sectional view because I'm a little nervous about my work. And let's go right through the middle there, somewhere in there. Hit OK. Let's see what it looks like in there. Nice. Alright, we've got the clearances we need. So I think we're in business. So the other good news is if we go to open our drawing, this guy should be all updated with our new numbers. And you can see that indeed these numbers are here. We probably should take it out to the right number of decimal places. And 0.9, 0.9, 0.9, half of 0.9 with our 5 thou clearance. We are back in business, and all these other sheets should have been updated as well. Looking good. Double check yours to make sure your numbers match. If they do not match what we have here, then we'll have to make a correction. Now, I realize that in doing this, we've just increased our potential for goof ups. So we got to go back now. I'm going to close out my drawing, save it. Alright, close out my, if your assembly is off, by the way, you know that you did something wrong as well. I'm going to hit, and I can help you fix that. I understand I went kind of quickly with this correction video. And so now what we got to do is make sure all of our tool paths, and this one is a double one, right? So we got to update this one first. Click on it, hit generate toolpath. Hit this one, hit generate toolpath. Now we got to save these, right? So, and I don't remember what the names were for them, but I'm going to say this is part D, and this is the larger slot. So I'm going to hit post process, and the location for this is going to be hopefully it keeps this. Go to the tech drive, go to your folder, right, and this would be, you know, dairy D and wide slot, I guess we'll call it. And I like to put the bit in there. Hit post. Hit save. Now we're going to go, this is our G code. We don't need that. Click that one. Now that we have this one selected, post process again. We're going to call this dairy D narrow slot, and 0.25 for the bit again. Hit post, and we're going to have to do that for all of our tool paths. So this guy is done. Save all your changes. This one is good. It only has one tool path, so we want to make sure that we're in this tab. If you are in your CAM tab, you want to make sure you regenerate the tool path. If it's not already generated, then you can hit post process. This is part C, so dairy C slot 0.25. It's only one toolpath for this one. We're good. Hit save. Close that out. And this one is also only one toolpath, but two slots. So again, make sure you've generated that toolpath, and I already have. And then you're going to go to post process. This one is going to be part B, so dairy B, double slot, and 0.25 bit. Hit post, hit save, and we are in business. I think that does it. All right. So this is about a 15-minute video. So I suspect it's probably going to take you 20 minutes to get this done. Maybe you can get it done in 15. That'd be impressive. But all good. And we'll double check everybody's G code before we get rolling on the Tormach machines. All right. Thanks. Sorry about the inconvenience. We just, the material isn't as big as it used to be.